Okay, in this video I'm just going to give a quick explanation of variables and constants. To start, we actually want to create something called a playground. So if you go up to File and go to New, instead of doing New Project, do New Playground. And this was a new thing introduced with Swift. So you can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to call it My Playground, kind of the default name. And replace the playground I currently have. And then it gives you kind of this basic file here. And this is just going to be a better way to kind of learn some of the basic concepts because we don't actually need to create a runnable program. What this does is it will allow us to see exactly what our lines of code are doing on the right here. So you see the default, all it's doing is creating a string that is equal to hello playground, and you can see that the value is equal to hello playground. So for constants and variables, I first need to go over data types, some of the basic data types that you can use to declare a variable as. And all a data type is something like an integer or a decimal value or a string. It's something that you can set something else equal to. So I'll just go over four pretty basic ones right now. The first is going to be int. And all an int is anything like 2, 5, 7, 9, 100, 1,000, a million. It's any number that doesn't have a decimal after it. Then on the flip side, you have double. Oh, and quick, for anyone who doesn't know why I'm putting these slashes here, all a slash does is it comments out a line. So in code, you can kind of leave comments for yourself to explain some of the code that you're doing. So it just makes it so that code isn't going to be runnable. So our doubles are things like things with decimals like 3.1, 4.532, and I think you get the picture. Any kind of decimal number. The next is going to be Bool, and all a Bool value is it's just a true or false value. So this can be equal to true, or it can be equal to false. Last but not least, we made one in the last video. It's just going to be a string, and all it is a sentence. So anything like, hey, what's up? So it can have spaces, and as long as you put quotes around it, it is going to give you a string altogether as a single unit. So now let's declare a variable to start. So I'm going to say var, let's just call it our number is equal to 2. And now if I go in here and I say, okay, I don't really want this to equal 2 anymore. I want to change the value to 5. I'm going to say our number equals 5. And just like that, you're going to see that we can change the value of our number. And you can see if I just put it down here, it's just going to print the value of whatever's on this line. It's still equal to 5. So we're able to change it. So now instead, if we say let's our constant number equal 2. So the let keyword defines a constant as opposed to a variable, and all a constant is a variable that can't be changed, is kind of the way I think about it. So now if I say our constant number equals 5, let's say I want to change it down the line, you're not actually going to be able to do that because, see, it's going to give us an error here. If you click on the little red sign, it'll tell you why, and it's saying cannot assign to value our constant number. It's a let constant. So that's just the difference between constants and variables. Let's start manipulating some of these things. So let's say I want a couple variables. Let's call them var int1 equals 2, var int2 equals 5. So we just have two integer variables. Let's say I want to add these together. All you have to do is do exactly what you would expect. So int1 plus int2, and that's going to give us a value of 7. So basically it's just giving a name to that integer. So I'm sure most of this stuff should be pretty intuitive. Say you wanted to have two variables, two string variables. Actually, I'm just going to make them, I'm going to make one a constant and one a variable, because you can add constants and variables together without any problem. So I'm going to say let's hello, or let hello string equal hello, and let world string equal world. So we have these two string constants. Actually, I was going to say let's change one of these to a variable. And if we add these together, all it's going to do is combine those two strings. So if I say hello string plus world string, we're going to get the combined string of hello world, all as one word because we didn't put any spaces in there. So that's kind of the basics of variables and constants. We're going to be using those a lot in future videos, so no worries if you have any kind of like a small confusion about them. But yeah, we will go over a lot more in future videos.